Good afternoon. This is Bohemia Live, and I'm Kyle Elizabeth Williams, and I'm here to welcome you to a show full of glitter, jewelry, and high step and dance. First, we're going to start with that jeweler. Let's go on back and take a look at a little sparkly, shall we? This is Beth Bergen.
Hi, Kyle.
Hi, Beth.
I'm happy to be here, but I have to tell your viewers that this fan will not stop while I'm sitting here because this humidity is melting me and frizzing my hair.
It's frizzing her hair. Well, if only we had a stylist. Perhaps next time we'll have a stylist.
A hair dryer.
An emergency stylist. An emergency stylist. But right now we have a jewelry stylist in you.
Yes,
so
we do.
Do tell me how you got started.
I got started loving jewelry. I was born in Chicago and two fabulous parents. My mother was an artist and a commercial artist and extremely talented, won a lot of awards. My dad was an architect and he was the director of the Institute of Design in Chicago during the Bauhaus era. Very interesting. He built a lot of homes in the Chicago area and he was a collector of all things beautiful. And he started collecting Tiffany when he was 25 years old. Ballet. Oh, am I not working?
Yeah, it's right up against your skin.
Okay. All right.
So repeat that. The Lalique.
Yeah, and my father was a collector of, as I said, all things beautiful. He started collecting Tiffany when he was 25 or 28 maybe. He bought his first Tiffany lamp for $25. So think about that. Unfortunately, he sold it for about $165,000. But at any rate, he collected.
Oh, shucks.
Oh, shucks is right. I wanted to inherit it. But he collected everything, including jewelry. And my first piece of jewelry was from my dad on my 10th birthday. It was a really beautiful little Victorian bracelet, gold bracelet that I just loved. And as we got older, when I was in high school and my sister, we had moved to California, and my dad started a tradition of placing 2 jewelry boxes on the dining table after dinner and telling us to pick one without opening it. So
Ooh.
At any rate, that started the love affair with jewelry. And then I started going to high school, Palos Verdes High School, and they had a very progressive art department. And Sheila Hollingshead was the head of that department, and she was a very talented jeweler. So we learned all different little techniques of jewelry fabrication. That was the 60s, and my sister and I started making psychedelic earrings out of cardboard. So
what was that about, psychedelic?
Well, the 60s, remember, the fluorescent everything, hot, oh, you're too young. Oh, sorry about that. At any rate, we cut out, shapes out of cardboard and painted them with fluorescent paints, that bright orange, they were, black light colors.
But made out of cardboard.
Out of cardboard,
Okay.
And we sold them for $2 a pair at the local craft fairs. And that's pretty much how I got started.
Very nice. I don't imagine there's any cardboard here.
No cardboard. No cardboard. I started, after that, after high school, I went to college and I studied accounting, of all things, and I ended up with a career in banking for 38 years. And in around 2002, a wonderful customer came in the bank and showed me she collected all sorts of jewelry, and she showed me a really beautiful pearl lariat that she had just purchased. And I said, geez, I bet I could make that, because it was a little bit more than I could afford. So I called my sister who in Santa Barbara, and we went down to Santa Monica to a gem fair and bought all sorts of beads and pearls and whatnot. And I made a necklace. And I was at lunch with a friend, and she said, I love your necklace. I said, well, thank you so much. I made it. And so she asked me to make one for her, and then somebody at the Ansel Adams Gallery saw it, and they asked if they could buy them. I
Nice.
was so thrilled. I mean, I knew nothing. And so that was kind of the start of my thing. And I started taking, I realized, all I knew how to do at that point was string some pearls. So I started taking some classes here and there, pearl knotting and wire wrapping. This is like wire wrapping where you wrap the wire around and make chains and whatnot.
Can you hold it up a little further
course.
so we can get a better look at that?
Yeah.
Because some of us don't have any idea beyond cardboard. earrings.
Cardboard.
That's it. That's all I got.
Well, this is all wire wrapped in between with silver. So that was one of the first things that I learned. And then I took a class here from,
Now, what are these?
well, these are pearls, freshwater pearls. And I took a class in precious metal clay from a local artist, Nancy Larkin, very talented. And precious metal clay, this is made out of the precious metal clay. And it is a clay that is ground fine silver mixed with a binder. And you can make whatever you'd like you're working with clay. So I made a mold of an antique piece of jewelry and then put the clay in it. Then you burn it out in a kiln. And you're left with fine silver.
So it's multi-process.
Yeah, it is. Multi-process, but it's a lot of fun. So I learned from Nancy, and then I started taking classes at MPC in the evenings, and Carol Holliday was teaching in the evenings. She's another local, incredibly talented jeweler. And I started learning bits and pieces, soldering and enameling and all of the above. And I started putting jewelry out in stores.
Well, I want to take you over here and have you show us some of these gorgeous things you've
I
got,
would
and then
love
we'll
to.
come back and hammer on something.
Okay. These are some of my pieces. I have a very eclectic style, which is, I'm all over the board. This I made out of, do you need me to hold that? This is made out of, I have a base of sterling silver that's underneath, and then I wire wrap on all sorts of things. Pearls, mother of pearl, shells, coral. This is one of my favorite stones. It's actually not, it's man-made. It's a glass that's opalized, and it's called opalite. And I use a lot of it in my shell pieces because it looks like water. And this is rock crystal and freshwater pearls, and so I do things like this. This is carnelian that I made the chain out of. This is Kishi pearls with a Swarovski crystal centerpiece. And the Kishi is a pearl that doesn't have a nucleus. So they're either spit out by the oyster if you put, because cultured pearls, they put the little round nucleus into the oyster, and then it makes the nacre around that. But they've either spit it out or they've made them without the nucleus. So I love them. They're just fun and odd and beautiful.
Gorgeous. I like that big piece idea.
Yeah. So I do everything from little tiny to great big.
And
this
these
one is 14-karat gold-filled chain, and I have freshwater pearls and some semi-precious stones. This is blue topaz and iolite.
Which one's blue topaz?
The lighter one is the blue topaz, and this is the iolite. It's kind of a purpley blue.
And that's a semi-precious stone?
Yes, And then this one I call my Hawaiian wedding necklace.
Ooh, love it.
Because it just reminds me of Hawaii with those flowers. But this is mother of pearl and Swarovski crystal and freshwater pearls. And then these beautiful, I don't know if you can catch the iridescence on that camera, but these are the most beautiful iridescent leaves from Czechoslovakia.
May I pick it up?
Of course.
Okay. I meant.
Oh, the whole, absolutely.
I mean, pick
it up.
Pick it up. Kyle wants to touch it. How about like
Oh,
that?
yeah. Yep.
Ooh. Ooh. Now,
course,
how much?
Anything looks good on you, I hate to tell you, but.
Now, how much would something like this cost?
That one's $150.
Only $150.
Yeah. I think my jewelry is very reasonable, quite honestly.
$150. Wow. And how long did this take you to make?
Oh, I'd always do it in kind of stages. I should time it, but probably 3 hours, three and a half, something like that, because they're all wrapped and.
And look at that. I mean, it's just exquisite.
Well, thank you.
Wow, $150. Okay, I'm gonna have to think about mine. Do you take credit cards? What do you do?
Yes, I
Okay.
do. All credit cards.
Okay, and then we have these are cuffs, right?
These are cuffs that I made. I'm going to show you how they're made in a couple of minutes, but they're made from an etching of
And you said
metal.
I could touch, so I'm
You
going
may
to
touch, yeah.
Okay.
And then they're formed, and I do my own gold plating, which I
You
love.
talk, I'm trying.
Okay. You have to hit, there's the right spot. Like, I bent it a little bit just to get it on that thing tight. Oh, do you know the spot?
No.
Oh, shit.
What?
Nothing?
Shucks?
Oh, wow.
Sugar?
That's pretty. You can do it where anything.
Ooh. Ooh. Sparkly. Pretty. Now, how much is that?
That's 85.
$85.
It's 24 karat gold
So how,
plated.
24 karat?
Mhm.
And that's
It's gold plated, but I do really heavy gold plating, like vermeil. You know, I work with different metals, and I put a coating.
I don't know what, does anybody know what vermeil is?
Well, I'll tell you.
We don't know.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
It's 22 or 24 karat gold over sterling silver. But a lot of times the silver, gold, of course, won't oxidize, but the silver will. So I put a coating of another metal between the silver and the gold, and it stops the bleeding of the oxidation from the silver into the gold. So it stays like this forever.
And then obviously you stamped it somehow as well.
I did, and I'll tell you about that in just a second.
Perfect. And this is a what?
That's turquoise and a Swarovski crystal.
Nice. Ooh, I guess I have to take it off.
Yeah, good luck.
I'll get it off. I got it.
Um,
And
yeah.
then I see you have a few rings.
These are very simple rings. It's pretty much all I've been making lately, but they're wire wrapped, and they're Swarovski crystals, and they're just very pretty. It looks just like an aquamarine to me, but
Ooh. See,
and this is
Kyle's
my
going after 'em.
favorite color. This is called Pacific Opal, and it looks just like the water to me.
Mm? Talk to me. Talk to me, Harry Winston. Talk to me. Ooh.
Yeah.
And how
It's
much?
Sparkly. $45.
This is a little cheaper than my other ring, just saying. Wow.
You think?
And look at the size.
But they look like $1 million. I
They
think. Those
look like $1 million.
Swarovski is just
It's
beautiful.
just gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's just gorgeous. Ooh. I know. Wow. And that's not even her favorite. So of course I'll have to try on her favorite
Yeah, that is my favorite.
because they're here.
But do you see the color of that?
Ooh.
It is just really beautiful. Pacific Opal.
Pacific Opal.
Yeah.
And here we are in
Yeah.
Monterey, right at
That's
the
right.
Pacific. So people, rather than go home with a T-shirt, they should be going home
With a ring.
with
Or a
something,
necklace,
with
or
a piece of art from you.
Absolutely. And
Right.
this is my
And how did we
it's
get
my Monterey inspiration here, you know.
It's just beautiful. And how much is that one?
This one is $175.
It's just beautiful. Just beautiful. There's no place to put this. Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
lied. I'm trying to ignore it because
That's
I
okay.
don't
Let
want to
me-
give it back.
Let me do it.
Perfect.
Okay.
So let's go, and she's going to show us how to create a cup, and then we can
Yeah.
all go home and create a cup.
Or
Or not.
I have to just say this for MPC. Monterey Peninsula College, they're doing away with all of the arts, and they have the most wonderful jewelry department there. And if any of the viewers are the least bit interested in learning anything about jewelry, now is the time to sign up and go to MPC and take classes from Teresa Levering Brown, who is the head of the jewelry department and is so talented and so wonderful and so kind and so helpful and so delightful. So do it before there aren't any more jewelry classes there. And,
Or we're stuck buying it from you and
or
contacting
come
you
buy it from me,
at
but-
your website.
Yeah, yes, BethBergonJewelry.com. Now this is what I was going to show you. This is a cuff it's made by, you start with a piece of metal like this, and actually this would be the metal that you start with, and you etch it in ferric chloride. You put,
Let's tip it up.
can you see that? You put a pattern on it so that it's got ink of something. This is what I use. It's a material that you print your pattern on, and then you heat it onto the metal, and then you take off the plastic and you're left with the pattern on the metal. Then you put it in ferric chloride and it etches into the metal, your pattern. Then you take that, you take a plain piece of metal and you put it through a rolling mill that I can only describe as like a wringer, the old-fashioned washing machines with the wringer that you put the clothing. I know you wouldn't know.
No,
You're
my
too young.
grandma had one.
Okay,
Yes,
excellent,
yes, yes.
excellent. Anyhow, you put it through this roller, these metal rollers, and it imprints onto your plain piece of metal. And then you've got something like this, except it's flat. This one I did with this piece, just to show you how it's made. Then you form it around a bracelet mandrel, like that, and you use this hammer and you form it until it gets to the right shape that you want. And then these ripples, see, this was a lace pattern on here, so I wanted the edge to kind of look like lace that had turned up. And so at that point, I used this, it's called a sinusoidal stake. And
Say that again.
I know, it's hard. I had to put it on here so I'd remember. It's a sinusoidal stake. And you put it on here, wherever you need it, and you hit it with this hammer, and you start turning the edges up. Sorry, the camera's that way. And you just do it until you get what you want.
Fantastic. So if we ever see a shape like this on Forensic Files, we know who did it.
Oh, oh dear.
We're just saying, I'm hip on that. So just I'm always thinking sinusoidal.
Yeah.
Right. A suicidal sinusoidal.
No, not, yeah, there you go,
There you go.
sinusoidal.
Sinusoidal.
At any rate, so that's pretty much the technique for that. I think a lot of times people aren't aware of what goes into making a piece of jewelry.
Well, there's a
You know?
lot that goes into a piece of jewelry. So
Yeah.
I am going to stick by my guns and contact Beth Bergen at her website because I'm not going to go and do all this. I'm not willing to
To go to school and learn how to do it?
I would rather just pay you.
Well, I'd love for you to do that. So, I have a website, and I can be contacted through it. You can't really purchase my jewelry on my website, but it has a list of my shows, and I do local shows. My next big one is in Carmel, the Home Crafters Show, that is November 18th from 9 to 3. It is a fabulous show, period. They have the best vendors there, most interesting artists. So I would recommend everybody go to that craft show. And it's in the Sunset Center parking lot.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, it's lovely. It really
A
is.
beautiful venue.
So, and I'm in the process of setting up an Etsy. I don't know if all your viewers are familiar with Etsy, but it's an online market of all handmade products. So I've got a site set up under Beth
Okay.
Bergen Jewelry, and I'm starting to put my jewelry on it.
Well, we will see it, and I am going to thank you so much.
Thank you, Kyle.
This is
I loved it.
fantastic.
It was really nice.
Yay! Thank you so much for joining us. And I will be contacting you about some of these pieces when I'm not otherwise
Well, okay.
occupied.
All right. I look forward to it. Thank you so much.
Okay, she's going to get going, and meanwhile, we have our next guest, and we have a group of dancers. If I could get Craig Hem, you're going to have to say that again for me. Hem Hill.
They've legalized.
Trade with you.
So this is kind of like one of those Cheech and Chong moments where you're explaining to me about drugs that formerly were illegal. What is the hemp situation right now in California? Do you know?
Oh, several counties, so you can have a license and sell it, and you can get it.
So
But you have to have a doctor's prescription.
you have to have a doctor's prescription.
Yeah, but you can buy clothes with it as well.
So you
can
could
have clothes made out of hemp.
so you could buy your clothes and smoke it.
Yeah, when they get dirty. Yeah. No.
So you don't have
just
to
kidding.
wash them anymore. You just set them up plain. So
That's
what?
right.
What now that you're mic'd up? What is it we're going to get to enjoy? I'm
What
so
you're going to
excited.
get to do today is experience some historic American dancing. Originally, this got started back in England, and when we got over here in the colonies, and then we were dancing this. English country dancing to American country dancing. But when when we had a revolution, it fell out of style. So that's where we had different type of dancing that we had coming up, like the Virginia reel was invented
Oh,
at
yeah.
that time.
Do you guys do that?
We do something similar. It's
Okay.
American contra dancing. And what happened was then it went to France, where it just exploded. And so the contra is from French, meaning your opposite. So we're going to be dancing in long lines with your partner either by your side or across from you, and you're going to do 8 to 16 steps with your partner. Then you're going to repeat a different movement with your neighbor, who's going to be the next person. You're going to dance up and down the line.
So do you need to have a partner? Is this a club?
Well, no, we're a dance community. So we do a lot of things together. With this community, we've gotten together with potlucks, we've had game nights, we go to movies together, and we all end up dancing over at the Carmel Youth Center, first and third Saturdays of every month.
So at the Carmel Youth Center, and so
7
if
o'clock.
I wanted to do this,
Yes.
could I?
Oh, yes. Contra dancing is one of the fastest and easiest ways to learn how to dance. And I know that because I started cotillion dancing in the 5th grade. And it took forever to get into all your ballroom. That's how I met my lady love that I have now, was on a ballroom dance floor. And then she introduced me to contra dancing. So you don't need a partner. You can just show up. We will pair you up with someone. If you're new, we want to put you with an experienced dancer so that you have the best dance experience that you could possibly have.
Wonderful. So are you guys ready to show us your thing? I'm going to sit it out for a bit, and then possibly I'll sneak in and join you.
Yes, and may I say something else
Yes,
real
sir.
fast? One of the things that we're doing over on October 12th, and it's going to be over in Seaside at the Oldemeyer Center, and that's on Hilby, is we're having a dance sampler. We're going to do contra, we're going to do square dancing, and we're going to do line dancing with Christy Parker. And that's going to be at 7 o'clock. So if anyone wants to know what it's like to do any of these dances, this is the best way to do it. And
Can
we're
you
gonna have-
repeat that with authority so that we
Yes.
can hear that clearly?
So,
September.
I'm sorry, September 12th, that's on a Tuesday, 7 o'clock at Oldemeyer Center, Seaside on Hilby. We're going to have a dance sampler. We're going to have contra dancing. We're going to have a dance sampler with your square dancing, and we're also having line dancing with Christy Parker, who teaches it in Salinas.
So we
Yes.
can all show up.
I'll show up for it, and if you like that, then come to our Foggy Moon. We have a 3-day dance for contra.
And you do have a website, and I believe we have that on our...
Yes, Monterey Country Dance Community, and it's a great place to go. We even have a live band for you today. It's part of our nationally known Crabapples. They've been on tour from coast to coast, and they'll be playing for you today.
And the Crabapples, do we have names?
Yes, Teresa, Norm, and Elizabeth.
Teresa, Norm, and Elizabeth, the
Yes.
Crabapples. And you're the
Yes.
Crabapples, why?
I'm a guest Crabapple. Norman, why did you guys call yourselves the Crabapples, Norm?
Well, there was a local band here we started called the June Apple Band. And so somebody said, well, you should call yourself the Crabapples, and it stuck.
Is that because you're crabby, Norm?
No, we're not.
No, Norm's not crabby.
Well, I've heard you play. Are you ready to get going?
Sure.
And what would you call it when you get going? Probably not, let's get going. You
No,
would say,
we'd say, so let's line up for a contra dance.
All right.
And what we do normally is we're going to teach what the dance is going to be first, and then we call the dance to the music.
okay.
Okay?
Now, should I be a part of this, or I'll wait? Let's watch you guys first.
All right.
Okay.
So,
About 5 times to you guys? That sounds good. Switch leads, or what do you want to do, Norm?
where is it?
There it is.
All right. So in teaching the dance today, what we're going to do is we're going to circle to the left all the way around. Now circle back to the right all the way around. When you get back home, do a star right. Now a star left when you get home. Partner do-se-do with your partner. Throw in a clap twice. Now how about a partner swing? All right, now a neighbor do-se-do. Give us a clap twice and a pass through. And that's how it's going to go, and then we'll repeat it again. So back up to where you started, and we'll get this started with the band. Circle to the left. Circle to the right. Star right. Clap twice. Partner do-si-do. Partner swing. Neighbor do-si-do. Give me a clap twice. Pass through. Take hands. Circle to the left. Circle to the right. Star right. Star left. Partner do-si-do. Give me a partner swing. Neighbor do-si-do next. Clap twice. Pass through. Circle left. Circle to the right. Star right. Star left. Partner do-si-do. Give me a clap twice. Partner swing. Neighbor do-si-do. Clap twice. Gonna pass through. Circle left. Circle right. Star right. Star left. Partner do-si-do. Clap twice. Partner swing. Neighbor do-si-do. Clap twice. And pass through. Circle left. Star right. Star left. Partner do-si-do. Clap twice. Partner swing. Neighbor do-si-do. Clap twice. Do a pass through. Circle right. Star right. Star left. Partner do-si-do. All right. Thank you. All right. So I'll dance this time, and you can call, and would you like to dance?
I would.
All right.
I wore my contra dancing shoes.
Now, this is Russell Frank who's calling this next dance.
Welcome, Russell. Hey, don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm coming down here at the end.
Okay, warm up hands forward. So, with your neighbor, balance and swing. So into each other, Ballroom position, walk around, swing.
I'm jogging.
And circle left all the way around. All
Blonde's
three
going
quarters,
Beth.
I'm sorry. Circle left 3 places, and do-si-do your partner.
I don't know what it is. I don't know
Now
what a
with your partner,
do-si-do is.
balance and swing.
Come in, that stops. Okay. Come back. We just walk around one another. That's all you have to do.
When you're with your partner on the side of the set, facing the other couple, and the ladies chain. So ladies take right hands, left with the next, and the gent helps her
Whoop.
swivels her all the way around. And finally, star left all the way around.
Oh, I like the star.
And now look down, look to the next couple along the line to find a new neighbor. And we're on to the next. So that's the whole dance. Let's back up and try it with music. Great. Balance your swing your neighbor. Circle left. 3 places with your partner, do-si-do. Partner, balance and swing. Ladies chain across the set. And left hand star. On, look for a new neighbor. Balance and swing. Circle left, 3 places. With your partner, do-si-do. Partner, balance and swing. Ladies stand across the set. And left hand star. On to the next, new neighbor, balance and swing. Circle left. Partner, do-si-do. And balance and swing. Ladies stay. And left hand star. On to the next, new neighbor, balance and swing. Circle left. With your partner, do-si-do. And balance and swing. Cross the set, ladies stand.
Whoop.
And star by the left. New neighbor, balance and swing.
Balance so we don't run into each other.
Circle left. Partner, do-si-do.
We got that.
Balance and swing.
There you go. You got it.
Ladies stand.
Here we go.
And star by the left. On to the next. Balance and swing. Circle left. Partner, do-si-do. Balance and swing. Ladies stand.
Ladies team. Okay.
Star by the left. And thank the band.
You guys are fabulous. So you do a line dance also?
No,
No.
that's Christy Parker,
Okay.
and she couldn't make it.
So what are you doing next?
We could do another contra dance for you if you like.
Do one more and then we'll take a break. And
All right.
okay, and I'm gonna sit this one out.
Okay.
Should we play?
You're going to sit out the side?
I am. Is that okay?
You sure?
I'm exhausted. They're killing me here. You're killing me, Smalls.
So, might be able to take hands for warm-up sets.
I don't think my A's coming.
And we start the gents do-si-do across the set, all the way around. And now the ladies take left hands and Allemande right, Allemande left once and a half. And balance and swing your partner. And go down the hall. 4 in line. Got a nice big hall. Turn as a couple. Come on back. And form a circle. And circle left 3 places. And now swing your neighbor on the side. And now we're ready to start the next. But we got the hardest part of the dance right here, which is the next move is the gents look left and do-si-do. Because you progress. And I don't think we need to do any more. Just wanted to warn you. So let's go back to where you were. And we'll start it out with music. So it starts with the gents left do-si-do. Ladies by the left, once and a half. With your partner, balance and swing. Down the hall, 4 in line. Turn as a couple. And form a sort of thing. Circle left. And swing your neighbor. Two gents, do-si-do. And ladies by the left. To your partner, balance and swing. Down the hall. Turn as a couple and come on back. Form a ring and circle left. With your neighbor. Two gents, do-si-do. Ladies by the left. To your partner, balance and swing. Down the hall, 4 in line. Turn as a couple and come on back. Circle left. Neighbor swing. Two gents, do-si-do. Ladies by the left. To your partner, balance and swing. Everyone down the hall. Turn as a couple and come on back. Form a ring and circle left. Neighbors swing. Down the hall. Circle left. And swing your neighbor. Thanks all. Thank your partner. Thanks the band.
Elizabeth? If you folks could take a moment, we're going to introduce the bride. And then you come back. Don't leave. obviously I've done this before, but not in a venue quite as beautiful as this. Yes, Wave Street Studios is a reception, wedding, party venue. When we're not dancing and singing like this, we're dancing and singing and joining two couples together for all eternity. For a mere $6,000, wedding party? Wait a minute. I know. Well, wait, that's not good.
Come on, Jenny.
Come on. 1, 2, 3. There's just one girl. Come on, you can catch it. Come on, Ethel. Did she get it? Yay! She will be joining me next month, by the way, in our Halloween show. But $6,000 and you get this gorgeous venue. Now, you have this part where you've got all these goodies, and look at this mirror. I could just adore myself all day long. Back here are the cutest bathrooms. Can we look at them? Is that okay? Is that bad to go into the bathroom? I'm going to do it anyway, heck. Because if you're a bride, brides need to use the toity, right? Hi, so sorry, excuse me. But this looks like a little aquarium. We're right here in Monterey, can you see? An aquarium, you got 2 of them, not 1, not 2. Look, this is all brass, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, you wanna see the other one? Is there somebody in it? It's way fun, look. Ooh.
Okay, go ahead.
Ooh, jellyfish. It's like you're at the aquarium. You get a twofer here. Gorgeous, fantastic. You got octopus. It's so much fun. Upstairs, there's a place where the bride can change. And then outside, we're going to enjoy that. Look at our guests out there having a wonderful, wonderful time, mingling and enjoying all of the things. It's $6,000. You can bring your own food, your own booze. Bring the booze. Bring the booze. Room for entertainment. It's just too much fun. Meanwhile, while they're taking another breath, I want to show you something else that we have in the Monterey area. We have artists. Please take a look when we're not looking at jewelry. I brought a piece by a local artist named Mahler. This is the Monterey Bay. This is one of the piers. Now what this is, guys, you had a French word. What was the French word you used?
Magnifique.
Contra. It's a French word. It's just a fancy word for opposite. Because those French, they're sneaky. Well, how about giclée? Giclée is a fancy way to say inked. It's just a fancy way to say inked. And everything sounds better in French, doesn't it? But this is a giclée. And when you go to an art studio and you're looking at a giclée, it really is just an inked print on canvas. So you should be looking at, is it an original or is it a giclée? If it's a giclée, it is a copy, it's a print, which this is very similar to the original.
About 120.
The original would be about $3,000, and the giclée should cost about 1/4 of that or less. Now this one is an enhanced giclée, which means the actual artist painted oil on top of it. So you still get that wonderful smell, that scent of the original at 1/4 the price. So do think these things when you're buying. An original, $3,000 to $12,000. A giclée should be about 1/4 of that. Just a little hint when you're shopping. But isn't that a beauty? Again, this works with the theme of sparkle. Look at my ring. That painting sparkles almost as much as my ring. Now, we're just about done. But I'd like to do one more thing. Dancers, could you join us and dance us right out of Wave Street Studios Bohemia Live? And we'll see you on October 4th, which is a Wednesday, for our Halloween show. And we're going to get crazy for you. I promise I think we're going to have a hula dancer. We're going to have spooky things. We're going to have costumes. Now, how are we dancing out, guys?
That's a good question. How do you want to do it? In a line? Would you like to do
Square them up.
Square them up. Let's do a square dance out of here.
And we're going to square dance
Yes, we
right
have
out
to
here.
call our-
We have-
some of the
yay!
people tonight are square dancers. They've never conquered before. this is how easy it
one more
was.
couple.
Okay.
So Keith and Kimberly.
Could be a he to she or two she's. doesn't
Now,
matter.
before we do this, when are we seeing you in September?
September 12th.
Craig's good.
Go
Let
over
Craig
at
dance.
the Odermeyer Center, Seaside, off of Hilby, 7 o'clock.
So we have about 10 minutes to dance. So we can enjoy 10 full minutes of goofing around and having a really good time.
Okay. The big difference between this and contra dancing is in contra dancing they know a bunch of basic calls. The caller teaches them a dance and then they execute it. They know what they're going to do when the music starts. In square dancing, we've taught them a bunch of calls that are a little bit more put together. They involve the basics, but they're just a little bit more. And, well, actually quite a lot. Some people spend a lot of time learning how to square dance. But they come, they get in the square, and they don't have any idea what I'm going to do.
So you could say, Simon says.
That's just a big game of Simon Says. That's the way it is. So let's make sure these guys are calibrated. Who are the heads? Who are the sides? Who are the ladies? Who are the men? Everybody point to your corner. Everybody point to your partner. Well, these guys are good to go. Okay. Bow to your partner. Bow to your corner. Join your hands. Circle to the left. Circle to the left. All the way to the all the way till you get back home. Circle to the left till you get back home. When you're there, face your corner. Do an element left with your corner. Don't side go with your partner. Back to your corner, element left. Back to your partner, right, left grab. Every other grab, every other grab. Right, left grab. Here we go. When you meet your partner, give her a swing. Swing that pretty little thing. You promise you get her on home. Here we go. No walking. So, here we go. Hey, walking to the middle and back. Side, walking to the middle and back. Four men, star by the right. Star by the right there, men. Circle to the left, right, all the way till you get back home. Gents to the middle, make a right-hand star. All the way to your corner, gents. Do an element left with your corner. Back to your partner, do, side, do. Ladies, gents with the left-hand star. Left-hand star, ladies, all the way to your partner. When you get to your partner, do, side, do. Back to your corner, element left. And a right, left grab. Every other hand. Right, left grab. Here you go. When you meet your partner, give her a swing. Swing that pretty little thing. And you promenade. Get her right back home. Side, ladies, chain across. Turn girl. Head, promenade. Go 3/4 round. 3/4 round. Side, switch to the middle. Element left. Back to your partner, do, side, do. Back to your corner, element left. And a right, left grab. Every other girl, every other hand. Leader, promenade. Everybody get home. Get home. Side ladies, chain across. Head, promenade, go 3/4 round, sides into the middle and let them go by. Stand behind the heads there. Go 3/4, sides. Sides pass through. Do an element left. And a right left grab. Every other girl, every other hand. You need her to promenade, go walking, don't be slow. You get her, you go. Get her on back home. Promenade.
Do something with me.
Okay. Gents to the middle, make a right-hand star. Star right. All the way to your corner, do an element left. Your partner's outside, do. Do an element left to your corner. And a right, left grab. Every other girl, every other hand. Promenade her. Get her home. When you get there, everybody bow to your partner. Everybody bow to your corner. Wait for the pretty girl across the hall. That's it. That's worth it. Now, usually we use a microphone and we turn the music down when we square dance call for obvious reasons, but this went pretty well. Thank you very much, dancers.
And now we're going to dance our way
We're gonna
straight
dance
out
our
of the
way.
joint. Carefully, we're going to watch. We're going to watch our feet so we don't trip. Safety first. And out we go. We're going to promenade. How do we do that? Stop right now. Do silk pitch. Jewelry. Don't forget to contact Beth and do look at art in this beautiful world we have here. And
Yes. Oh, I thought I'd
consider this beautiful venue for your venue. And I'll see you next month. Kyle Elizabeth Wood, Bohemia Live. Let's go.
All right.
Woo! High five, you guys rock.